I feel like punching me in the face would hurt less than this song.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
What can't Taylor Swift do? It's really impressive.
Swift is the most prolific artist of our time if you think about it now.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ali and today we are ranking Midnights by Taylor Swift. We will be discussing all of the original tracks, all the 3 AM tracks, and of course a little song called It's Different. I'm so nervous for this. When I ranked all of Taylor's previous songs, I literally put it off for days because I was losing sleep over how anxious it made me. I was just like, it's too much pressure. I couldn't possibly put them all in place, and yet we're doing it again.
It's a full-time job and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
Also, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you can fix that down below. We are super close to hitting 50,000 subscribers, and that would be a dream come true for me. So give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out with the whole algorithm and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Before we dive into this, it is very important that I explain this is not a regular album ranking. I'm not just ranking this album within itself. This is actually a part of my entire Taylor Swift catalog ranking. This is kind of to update that, slot this in, and see where it fits against the rest of those songs. So if you have not seen my ranking every single Taylor Swift song video, go and watch that first so you know sort of where the barometer is, what songs I consider to be in which tiers. I could put every song on this album basically in God tier, but compared to the rest of her discography, that's a whole other ball game. Also, I posted a video of me breaking down every single song on Midnights and explaining what it's about, what the lyrics mean, any hidden references you might have missed. As a longtime Taylor fan, there are certain things that I might pick up on that newer fans might not realize or connect the dots on. So also make sure you've seen that, because that's kind of more of a deep dive into the album itself, whereas today is just solely my opinions. If you have seen my other Taylor ranking, you already know these, but first up we have God tier. It is the same in every video. It is impossible to beat. This is like truly the cream of the crop, the cake on the what? There is really only a couple of God tier songs per album. Some albums might not even have any, who knows? So don't be offended if a song doesn't make it to here. This is really just truly the most elite. Then we have Twilight baseball scene. This tier is iconic. These are for the immaculate, incredible songs that I'm obsessed with. These songs defined culture. Then we have Marvelous Tune, which is, I like this song.
She's really good.
Then there is This Is Me Crying. These songs I barely even listen to because of how much it violently attacks my emotions. Then we have I Forgot That You Existed. I do feel bad about this tier, but you know, on every album there is a song that you kind of tend to forget about, not listen to as much. This is her. Finally, we have Emily in Paris. These songs are flops.
Yes, there will be some casualties. Yes, there will.
I did a little question thing on my Instagram story earlier, and I asked, what does everyone skip? And then what is the song that has really grown on you? The answers are like kind of the exact opposite of my answers. So I think there might be a little bit of surprise and controversy today. Sorry in advance. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram and haven't answered that, I would love to hear your responses below. So like, what is your Emily in Paris song and your God tier song? All right, without further ado, let's get into it. You guys know I love getting a little bit creative with these videos, so I did make my own sort of tier system. If I figure out how to link it below, I will, so you can do it yourself. But I went ahead and made all little icons for each song. Mostly it's just so you guys have something a little bit more exciting to look at throughout the video, and I'm just obsessed with all these photos. You know, I still cannot believe that this girl put out a photo shoot like this with like the moodiest, darkest, most emo looking photos you've ever seen. Also very kind of 60s vibe, very vintage looking, and then gave us the most upbeat, modern pop album of all time. If you saw my Midnights predictions video, boy was I wrong. So first up we have Lavender Hayes.
It's straight, it's hot, and it lasts.
This song has actually been the biggest grower for me. It's a grower, not a shower. Initially, it wasn't a favorite of mine. I actually would have considered it a skip. Recently, I don't know what it is. I'm just really loving it. I'm definitely taking 1 point off for that weird production sound. Like, I don't know what that is, but I don't love it. However, 3 points back for the... I think we can all remember, I think we all sing. We all remember where we were when we first heard Lavender Hayes and we're like, oh my God, there actually is a new album. Like I didn't dream this, I didn't make it up. We're hearing new songs. My reaction video says it all, but I think I was still in shock that it was real.
Meet me at midnight. Oh yeah.
You know what? I feel the Lavender Hayes creeping up my tier list. I'm gonna put Lavender Hayes in marvelous tune. I like that song. I don't know if Lavender Hayes is anyone's favorite, but I think a lot of you guys will wish that I'd put it higher. It's just not Twilight baseball scene for me. I'm sorry. Next we have Maroon.
When the morning came, we were cleaning.
Maroon. Remember when she wore the red ring to announce Maroon on TikTok and then made it track 2, just like red? Her mind. I really feel like in the same way that we changed All Too Well for Taylor over the years and made it sort of a less painful experience for her in hindsight, I think recording Red Taylor's version has kind of given her this fresh perspective on the whole situation as well. Obviously she has to revisit all of these old emotions, open these old wounds, and I think she's come out the other side seeing things a little bit differently. You guys know I love a little teeny tiny lyric change. We've got from we lost track of time again to we lost sight of us again, or laughing with my feet in your lap to sobbing with your head in your hands. Oh, it's so good. Also, she really is flexing her vocabulary in this song. She does not use the word red, but instead she says burgundy, scarlet, wine, maroon, blood, rust, ruby.
She's so smart.
That's a real fucking legacy.
This part,
The burgundy on my t-shirt when you splashed it one into me.
oh my god, her deep voice on that, I'm not gonna call it bridge, what would that be? Chorus reprise? When she sings that in the deep voice, I have no words. I have no words.
But wow, what a moment I will never forget. A moment that is most pleasing to me.
Also, the fact that she says that's a real fucking legacy to leave, but also that's a real fucking legacy to leave. Leaving is the legacy.
That hurt.
That was mean of her to do that to me and my heart. That was rude. I can't decide if this song is Twilight baseball scene or God tier. I think if I'm questioning it, it can't be God tier. I mean, God tier is like the All Too Wells and Dear Johns. I love Maroon, but I don't think I can put it there yet. Maroon is Twilight baseball scene. She is simply iconic. Next we have Antihero. I just need to say how proud I am of Taylor because this is a song which pretty much no one would have suggested to make the lead single of this album. It is a deeply, deeply personal song. It's incredibly vulnerable. It's like almost weird for a single, and yet it is now her longest #1 song on the Billboard charts ever. So I'm just so proud of her because I feel like it is one of her most vulnerable songs to date. You know, we have a lot of songs about heartbreak and about the way she's been hurt, but this is really like pulling your own mask off and stripping in public, just being so bare and so open with who you are at your core, the bits that you find the most ugly, and exposing that. And it's a #1 song. I was listening to this in the car earlier and started tearing up because of how powerful that is, and also just this song is. Also, this song has such an 80s synth sound to me, and I love that. Antihero almost could have fit on 1989 to me. I know that's probably not a common opinion, but I hear it.
I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons.
Her voice on this bridge.
Screams out, she's laughing up at us from hell. Hi. Everybody agrees.
The little snake, that was a great touch. A parallel that hurts me deeply is, if you remember in Mean, she says, someday I'll be big enough so you can't hit me. Flash forward when we're taking on the world together. Flash forward to today and she says, too big to hang out. So she's gone from being this undiscovered, invisible artist that desperately wanted to be big and successful and famous and known, and now she has become that, and it is kind of her downfall. All of her dreams came true, but at what cost? It's the lack of privacy, it's the inability to lead a normal life. It is so sad, but again, I'm so proud of her. Antihero. Antihero is Twilight baseball scene. An iconic music video too. Then we have Snow on the Beach, featuring Lana Del Rey. All jokes aside, I do wish she featured more on the song, but I still love it anyway. From the results of my Instagram story, this is the song that you guys skip the most, which hurts me so badly because I love it. The first day that the album came out, this was the song that I just kept going back to and was playing on repeat and fell asleep listening to. I adore this song, and I can't believe I'm in the minority with that opinion.
You just don't get it.
I swear to God, if this song was on Folklore, you guys would be eating it up. But because it's in the middle of this like pop moment, and because maybe we were expecting more Lana, people skip it, and it is not to be skipped.
Maybe it was too ahead of its time for certain people.
I truly think in a year or two from now, people are gonna look back and be like, oh, that actually is an incredible song. Everyone's gonna realize how good it is.
I told you so.
If you haven't yet connected with the song, the next time you're in the shower or driving in your car, blast this song, just take it all in. I have faith that it will reach you. The lyrics are just so beautiful, like stars by the pocketful. Of course I was gonna love this song. Also, when she said life is emotionally abusive, I felt that.
That's tea, actually.
Again, if you still don't love this song, listen to the bridge. I think you'll see the error of your ways.
I can't speak, but your eyes are flying saucers from another planet. Can this be a real thing? Can it? Are we falling like snow at this beach? Stars by the pocket.
I love that song. To me, it is Twilight baseball scene. I love her. Next we have You're on Your Own, Kid. I feel like punching me in the face would hurt less than this song.
Trauma, PTSD, trauma, generational trauma.
I think, again, we all remember hearing this song for the first time, reacting to I hosted parties and starved my body. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one.
This is what trauma looks like.
To me, this is really a song for the third wheel friends, the friends that aren't really someone's best friend or feel forgotten or left out or are invited as an afterthought. Fellow people pleasers. You know what I'm talking about. I feel like the line, the jokes weren't funny, is such a clear parallel to I'm just too soft for all of it. I'm too soft for like half of this album personally, but I love it. I saw someone online write, this song feels like riding home on your bike crying, and I could not have said it better myself. But I think not sobbing, almost when you're trying to hold in the tears and they're just slowly falling down your face silently, which is more painful. Oh, but it's also at the same time so beautiful because then we hit the bridge.
Sprinkler splashes to fireplace ashes. I hosted parties and starved my body.
Ouch.
Make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it. You're on your own, kid. You're on your own, kid. You always have been.
I am done with Taylor Swift. Yup.
If this song is riding home on your bike crying, the bridge is like your older sister catching up with you, riding alongside you, being like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. And for that, You're on Your Own, Kid is God tier. That entire bridge, I mean, you guys saw what it did to me. It is so cathartic and beautiful and it's a real journey. Track 5 for a reason. I love that song. Next we have Midnight Rain. To me, this is like if The Way I Loved You, 'Tis the Damn Season, and maybe Dorothea had a baby, like conceptually, not sonically. It's just all of these stories lead to there. Obviously I talk way more about this in my other video, but sonically, freaking love the pitch down auto-tune vibe. This one would be so fun to hear live. However, it's not a song that I necessarily would be like, hey Siri, play Midnight Rain. I'll let it play, but I'm not gonna obsessively cue it. Therefore, it's going in marvelous tune. Sorry if that activated any of your series because it definitely did mine. Next we have Question.
Wow, that's a great question.
Hearing the I Remember still sends shocks through my body every time. The audacity of her to do that to us, I'm speechless and I'm grateful. Like, I just can't believe she gave us that. This song is definitely one of the most relatable. We've all laid up at night thinking about a relationship or a person from our past being like, but what about this? And what about that? And all of the things we just wish we could ask them. The Out of the Woods sample is God tier. The song itself to me is marvelous tune. I'm always gonna be a slut for a song about Harry Styles. Next we have Vigilante Shit.
Draw the cat eyes sharp enough to kill a man.
Did you guys hear that? I'm scared.
This song is simply the least relatable to me. I mean, for obvious reasons. That's probably a good thing. It's truly the reputation of this album, and I love that for her. I love that we get a little sampling of all of the albums and all of the eras on Midnights. Sonically and also lyrically, it's just not my favorite. Therefore, if I had to pick an Emily in Paris, which legally I do, it is Vigilante Shit. I feel like that's actually a pretty common opinion, so I don't feel too scared about sharing that. Next we have Bejeweled.
Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. I polish up real nice.
If you and your friends aren't saying nice at any opportunity, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna take 1 point off for it sounding like she says, so put me in the basement, because that's definitely what I heard, but I'll give her like at least 2 or 3 points for this.
Have you heard that I miss you, but I miss Sparkle? I can still make the whole place shimmer.
I also just love that they tried to make her look like this disheveled, ugly, unwanted, you know, Cinderella type in the music video. And she just looks the most stunning I've ever seen her. They're like, all right, we won't put any makeup on you. You'll look hideous. And she's just radiant. I also just obviously love the messaging. It's very empowering, whether with a friend or a partner or just a rough time in life when someone else has made you feel really unwanted or unspecial, to be like, nah, actually, I am.
I'm just so proud.
This whole song is just like, watch me shine. Bejeweled is Twilight baseball scene. Next we have Labyrinth. For some reason, that opening part just makes me cringe a little bit. I think just imagining them in the studio being like, ba-ba. I don't know, I just think I would have preferred it if it was instrumental or a little bit more modified. The lyric from this song that just absolutely destroys me is, "It only hurts this much right now," is what I was thinking the whole time.
The whole time you would, the whole time.
It was painful the entire time. And she's just telling herself, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna hurt less soon. And it just did not. Oh boy.
I'm in unspeakable pain.
I have to say, Labyrinth, I do forget that you existed. It is an incredible song. I love it. But if I had to put a song there, I think it would be Labyrinth. It's not one that I necessarily reach for. Next we have Karma. You thought Style was a strut song? Enter Karma.
You talking shit for the hell of it. Addicted to betrayal, but you're relevant. Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend.
I asked you guys on my Midnight's album breakdown to tell me which lyric for each song sort of really encapsulated the whole song the best. And for this song, I think it's "Ask me why so many fade, but I'm still here." She is truly reaping the benefits of like being honest, being good, making the right choice. She stayed quiet, let the universe do its thing, and now she's on top again. This song just slaps. It is pop perfection.
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend.
I don't know if you're ready to hear this, but Karma is the style of Midnight's. It's also taken me until literally now to realize that Karma is a cat was probably a play on the phrase of Karma is a bitch, aka Karma is a dog. So she basically just Swiftified it. It's also one of my favorite bridges on the whole album.
Karma is the thunder, rattling your ground. Karma's gonna track you down, step by step from town to town. Karma is the guy on the screen, coming straight home to me.
The way she says weekend is my religion. And for that, Karma is God tier. Put that song on, tell me it doesn't make you feel incredible, indestructible, invincible. It just does. It is that bitch, been that bitch, will forever be that bitch, and I desperately need a Karma music video. Next we have Sweet Nothing.
This one has a little sweetness to it.
This song is just the perfect response to peace. It is so beautiful that Joe and Taylor wrote this together, especially with all of her anxieties around a relationship, keeping it protected, feeling insecure about what kind of life she can offer this person, and then being like, hey, it's all good. This is exactly what I want. I don't need anything else from you, just your love. What a man.
On the way home, I wrote a poem. Ooh.
I don't know what that instrument is. It kind of sounds like an organ keyboard thing. It sounds so good when the sax comes in. Obsessed. The sound of this song is so good. I love the combination of Taylor Swift and a saxophone. Sweet Nothing is... it's a marvelous tune. Only because it's a little bit slow for the kind of songs that I normally reach for. Next we have Mastermind.
Mastermind. See, I'm telling you, I have the mind of a I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that?
I'm obsessed with the fact that this song literally opens like a game show. She's telling us from the get-go that this is all just a game and she's the master plan. This song takes us on the journey of invisible string, entirely unravels that string, and it's like, no, I've been in control the whole time. But more than that, it kind of undermines, or I guess has a more mature, realistic depiction of love from her earlier albums, which were all about fate and destiny that she sang about, especially on like Fearless and Speak Now. And she's like, no, you have to be strategic in love. And I was. I think I just particularly love that she's not afraid to sing about this because her entire career, she has been called calculated and manipulative by the media. Like they've painted her as this villainous person that manipulates everyone around her. And she's being like, yeah, I kind of do and I kind of am, but only for love. The moment that I fell in love with this song and the moment that I fall in love with it every time I hear it again is the shoom. You know what I'm talking about.
Checkmate, I couldn't lose. What if I told you none of it?
That one little tiny second of a song does something to me. Makes me want to fly. It makes me feel like I can fly.
No one wanted to play with me as a little kid, so I've been scheming like a criminal ever since.
This is just as raw and vulnerable as Antihero, but to me it just like sounds so much better. When she talks about "then I saw a wide smirk on your face," he looks up grinning like a devil. That parallel, she just turned that one line into a whole song.
This is heavy, this is big, this is deep, this is profound.
You guys need to appreciate this song before it is too late. One day you will realize the genius of Mastermind. I'm just there already. Mastermind is God tier of all God tiers.
I love that motherfucking song.
Next we have the 3 a.m. tracks. Now I am obsessed with this as a concept because, you know, midnights, sure, it's contemplative, it's reflective, but 3 a.m., that is depression hour. Like that is when we are really deep in our feels and reliving our traumas essentially. These songs are just great. Also, I've been seeing so many comments and like tags on Twitter lately about my Red TV reaction because I said something about how she's not a 2 a.m. girl anymore. She's now a 3 a.m. girl. We know that my manifesting has been scary in the past. I did not see this one coming. So first up we have The Great War. This I think we can all agree is like the fan favorite. It's the one that I see that most people are obsessed with. It is everyone's like ride or die song and I get it. It's great. I really love that she is not afraid to write about the messier, harder, uglier sides of a relationship, like one of you having experienced traumas and how that baggage affects your new relationship. If we think about the fact that your midnights basically is your baggage, right? Like midnights is the things that keep you up at night, the things that weigh you down, the things that you think are flaws about yourself. And then I think back to New Year's Day and she said, I want your midnights. I want that stuff that you don't want to deal with and the stuff that you think makes you broken. That's what I love about you. Oh, it's so beautiful. Realistically, this song is for any couple that made it through the pandemic together. We're in lockdown and got out the other side. That is the Great War. Also, if you got tickets to the Eras tour, congrats, you also survived the Great War. I, like everyone else, do love this song. I find myself listening to it a little bit less than I did when it first came out. I was really into it then. Maybe I overplayed it. The only thing I don't love about this song is some sort of instrument. I don't know what it is.
My knuckles will bruise.
I have no clue what that instrument is. It just obviously conjures up such a picture of like wartime songs. And I think to me it's just a little bit too vivid. Like I don't love the sound of war songs. If anyone has any smarter knowledge and information on what that actually is and represents, please let me know. I think I just find it a little bit hard to listen to, I guess. The same reason I find Epiphany hard to listen to. But this is a beautiful song. I think I'm gonna put The Great War in Marvelous Tune. Don't hate me. Next we have Bigger Than the Whole Sky.
Well, it's been a great day today. Can't wait for more!
This is the worst song I've ever heard, and by that I mean it is the best song I've ever heard and it just hurts me so much to listen to it. This song reminds me a lot of Death by a Thousand Cuts and the way that that talks about grief and how it just really impacts every sort of element of your life and never really goes away and just is ever present. I mean, yeah, clearly this song is about grief. I got a lot of comments on my 3 a.m. tracks reaction video asking if this was about Taylor having had a miscarriage. A few years ago, one of Taylor's good friends did experience a miscarriage and was open about that, and I think that could have inspired this song, so I don't think that this is one that necessarily applies to Taylor. Sleepless nights can obviously include people you love and people you care about and take care of. That said, there are a lot of parallels in this song to Would've, Could've, Should've, so I think it is just talking about grief in the sense of how much it changes you permanently. It may not be about the same subject, but I think it is this shared concept of loss of self. Yeah, just how deeply trauma changes us forever. Bigger Than the Whole Sky quite obviously goes into This Is Me Crying. It is kind of on the same page as like Ronan and Soon You'll Get Better. Just hits a little bit too close to home. It is just one that is so raw. Yeah, my grief is just not ready to be listening to that yet, but it is an incredible song. Next we have Paris. What a change. Again, this is so all too well into 22. She loves to give us the most heartbreaking, depressing song and then be like, all right, bitch, get up and dance.
I'm so in love that I might stop. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You have been through a map on your bedroom. See, you were more than just a short time. Your ex-friends sister.
So Paris joins the ranks of the 1975, Sabrina Carpenter, Greta Ray, and I'm definitely forgetting someone else, but having a song named Paris. More people need to write about Melbourne. Many people say Melbourne is the Paris of Australia. Every time I hear this song, I cannot not think of that girl that thought the lyrics were Tom alleys.
I don't know what the fuck she's saying, but girl, I am living.
Also, this is the first song that Taylor has ever sang my name in. Thanks, girl. I just love how youthful and fun and light this song feels. It feels like being in love for the first time, running around a city with that person. You know, not even Paris, but just like you feel like you're in Paris because that's how special and romantic it feels. I love the idea that this song could be about Joe, even though it gives me such like young puppy love energy. The fact that he might have been able to make her feel that way, even, you know, well into her dating and adult life, that is just so special. This song is like the sister song of Cruel Summer and also The Lakes. You're just like so in love with someone. You just want to experience this city together. Nothing else matters. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, Paris is Twilight baseball scene. Yeah, she's good. Then we have High Infidelity.
So
It was April 29th.
But that kind of beeping in the intro really plays into the whole you were keeping score. You know, like it sounds like a video game or something where it's like the count going up and how that relationship just felt like a back and forth of keeping track of, you know, who's hurt who. High Infidelity is probably not a song that I reach for as much as the others. So even though I like listening to it, I think I have to put it in I Forgot That You Existed. Again, you guys have to remember I would put all of these songs in like God tier if I could, but I don't legally allow myself to. I try and spread it out evenly across the tiers, so sorry High Infidelity. Next we have Glitch. Now you know from that opening guitar, this is a sexy song.
She's a slut and she knows it.
We were supposed to be just friends.
There's something about that guitar at the start and then the kind of staticky noise. It's just sexy. I mean, obviously it's a song about like being friends, then being friends with benefits, and then falling in love, which is not relatable to everyone. I need to know if the
Let's Dance
reminds anyone else of the Miley Cyrus song. Personally, I think this song is really underrated. I really don't hear anyone talking about it. I think maybe because it sounds the most different from the rest of the songs on the album, but it's so fun. One of my favorite lyrics is definitely Happenings of Happenstance. It gives me You Made a Rebel of a Careless Man's Careful Daughter vibes, and it reminds me of Happenstance by Greta Ray. So if anyone else listens to Greta Ray, you get me. I think Glitch is marvelous tune. Then we have a little song called Would've, Could've, Should've.
Stay away from John Mayer.
I literally have chills just thinking about this song. Firstly, I got a lot of comments on previous videos saying this should have been her track 5. This is so emotional. It's so good. Yes, it is. But the reason this is track 19, she was 19 when he was 32 dating her. And so to me, that is so much more powerful. The fact that she released this when she's 32, I just think that was a stroke of genius and I love her even more for it. I also had people asking like, why wasn't this on the main album? It's so good. It deserved to be on, you know, the original finals. When an album comes out, critics get to hear it first, and I don't think that they deserve to. The fact that this is about how she was gaslit and groomed as a teenager by an older man who is a celebrity as well. The media spent most of her 20s slut-shaming her for dating people, so I don't think they deserve to hear this for the first time and react and write about it. It's nice that the world heard this all together. Also, it's so good that it would have detracted from the rest of the album. I wouldn't have been able to take anything else in. So the fact that it was second to last felt needed. This song gave me one of my favorite lyrics of all time and just the most relatable, which is memories feel like weapons. I think everyone can understand that. The way that even just the thought of something that happened can make you feel as sick or as hurt as you did when it happened. Also, I regret you all the time. Ouch. I could literally dissect this entire song and make an entire video about it with every lyric because, I mean, you guys saw my Spotify Wrapped. This album was only counted for 10 days and this was my most played song. I love this song with everything in me. Her ability to write about religious trauma and pain and relationships and heartache and loss of innocence, loss of self is incredible. Like the tomb won't close. She's saying her innocence died and yet she's still not able to put it to rest. That pain won't go away. I also love stained glass windows in my mind because anyone else that grew up going to church knows stained glass windows, they're not clear. They give you a different perspective on things. They maybe taint the way you view the outside world, but also they're made up of multiple pieces of broken glass. So like the metaphors in this song, she's broken by this experience. She's put herself back together, but the way that she sees through it now is forever changed. The line, The line, "Give me back my girlhood, it was mine first." Just a moment of silence for the fact that she wrote that. Not only is that line so cutting, but it sounds exactly like something a child would say, because in that situation, she was a child. She was a teenager. This was a 30-something-year-old man. We all know what happened, but like her ability to write that and sort of remind us that she was so young and that is the way a child would speak about something. Oh my God. Like it literally makes me feel sick with how good it is and how painful. I wish it never happened to her, but I'm so glad that she was able to write this song for any of us that have been through something similar. To me, this song is so validating. It makes me feel like I have every right to still be upset by something that happened to me when I was 19. And I know a lot of you feel that same way. So for anyone else who is deeply affected by this song, loves this song, or can't listen to this song, I see you and I love you and you're not alone. My other favorite thing about this song is, so the title, would've, could've, should've. And yet she only uses would've and could've throughout the song. And that is because the should'ves are all in Dear John. She said, "I should have known and you should have known." I think that is just incredible. I honestly almost wish she'd called it Promising Grown Man as well, because that line is one of the more brilliant things she's ever written, and that is saying something. Anyway, this song is not only the best song on the album, but maybe the best song ever written. So quite obviously it is going to God tier. And I'm gonna put it at the very front. This is like my Harry video. If I could make another tier right now, I would. It is above everything else. Next we have Dear Reader.
Don't read anything. If you don't read it, it can't harm you.
So I said in my Midnight's prediction video, I hope she gives us another Long Live. And she gave us Dear Reader, which to me really does feel like a continuation of that story. It's her talking to the fans. Long Live always felt like this anthemic, like massive song that deserved to be, you know, shouted out in the stadium with fireworks. Whereas Dear Reader truly feels like you're sitting down one-on-one with her and she's just spilling out her heart. I think it is, again, one of her more vulnerable. The lyrics, "No one sees when you lose when you're playing solitaire." The one thing I do find interesting is how much production is in this song when it is so like emotionally raw. I would have thought maybe a more stripped back sound would have been more expected, but maybe that's not what she's going for. Who am I to question Jack Antonoff? It is just funny hearing so much distortion paired with such like raw, vulnerable lyrics. Dear Reader is going to be Twilight baseball scene for me. Finally, we have a little song called Hits Different.
Everyone now, please rise for our national anthem.
Do I even need to say it? You guys, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, like you know how I feel about this song. My friends got me a cake with Hits Different lyrics on it because of how much I love this song. It is just that song to me. It is the best thing I've ever heard. There's a reason it's my intro. I just feel like this song would be on the soundtrack of my life, and I just feel like she made this song for me. So thank you, Taylor.
Honestly, you guys, I feel like I have the best taste in music. Like I think it's very hard to beat me in taste in music. Like I admit that I'm not like the best at everything, but like, I have a really good sense of music. This is truly the very first night of this album, and you guys know how I feel about that. I love that she says each bar plays our song, because I'm like, our song? Also, the fact that she sings about getting taken away, as in like to a institution, because she's so deeply distraught by this breakup, and yet she sings it so fun. Definition of a glitter gel pen song and definition of a God tier song. They're kind of the same thing to me anyway. Oh, this just makes me so happy.
I washed my hands of us at the club. Oh my, love is alive. Shit, my front seat kept me by. Catastrophic blues, moving on was always easy for me to do. It's different 'cause it's you.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
Get off and skip town like an asshole outlaw. Down the hallway. Is it you, or has it come to take me away? So take me away.
I recently personalized my AirPods, and this to me is what it sounds like to listen to Hits Different. Hits Different is of course God tier of all God tier. So that is my full official ranking. This can now go into the, I was gonna say vault, but into the slots with the rest of Taylor's discography. Homegirl has so many albums. This was very tough. So again, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I had so much fun making this. It was only a little bit stressful. And now I would love to hear from you guys. What are your God tier songs? What are your Emily in Paris? Everything in between. There aren't that many. So if you want to let me know where you'd put all of the songs, please go ahead. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and everything down below to stay up to date with what I'm doing and participate in little Taylor challenges. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Is this what it feels like?